So today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the Google algorithm change history. SEO Moz has got an updated list so you can annotate a lot of this in your Google Analytics. But I just want to start out with one of the biggest ones that recently happened May 19th, 2014, called Panda 4.0. What we've seen is a lot of people have kind of fallen off the rankings, and what we're looking to do is resolve a little bit of what we um, have a little confusion on what's happening out there and how we can actually fix a couple things. And my first example here is going to be Forbes. Forbes actually looks like they've dropped dramatically on those certain days. You can see kind of their peaks. May of 2014, how much traffic they have, and then they've actually went down to June 2014, and you can see a substantial loss in traffic. And then over here, and again, this is a neat little tool called SEMrush that I use. It's a great little tool for even if you're a small mom and pop and want to get a little bit more feedback of what's happening on your website. This is a fantastic little tool, especially if you've been hit by any of the penalties. So you can kind of see here that they've actually have some good organic traffic. It's not like a huge loss, but then if you look at some of the areas here, you can kind of see it did fall. And let's dig into it a little bit further. Let's just go into our position change a little bit. And I'm using Forbes.com. There's many other ones that a lot of people have talked about, eBay, and a bunch of other losers and winners. I just chose this one because there's a lot of people that utilize the site for their content. But what I want to show here is under the lost information, you can kind of go down and dig deeper into these reports and start to understand where you lost your ranking, where you lost your traffic. So let's kind of look down this list here, and you can kind of see some of the larger areas that it looks like they were hit back in last year as well. Same timing for most of the big updates that happened, especially even back into 2000, probably 12. You can see those. But where we come up closer here is April 2015. They lost a lot of traffic here, but then, excuse me, what we see down here is some of the actual keywords that they did lose. And what I'm after is like the negative 10 positions. I'm not really too worried about the ones and twos, but in this report, you can easily go and sort this. And with that sort, it allows you to quickly identify what pages have actually lost traffic. So here's our negative one. So that's our first sort, right? We've got a total of 167,000 results. So it's a pretty big data set. So let's go ahead and resort that again because I want to actually look for the higher numbers. And so we'll scroll back down here and take a look at those higher numbers. As it takes a little bit of load, it is a big data set here, but there we go. We've got some of our big negative 21s. You can kind of see off to the right, some of those keywords, maybe worth something to them, maybe not. But then the other interesting thing that I've noticed is a lot of the traffic that has gotten removed from this penalty. If you click on the URL itself, you can actually go up into the page that actually got deranked. And let's go ahead and go past this advertisement here. But then when you get into the page, what you need to do is look at what page you're at. And right now, as it's loading, I'm seeing on the URL bar, I've got Forbes.com/profile/Billy Joe Red Malcolm. So here's basically a profile page. So it's a sub-site that has information about somebody here, and then it's just very low quality content. It's basically a navigation page that has more information there, but it probably should have taken it to. I think there's things that you can do in here to improve the customer visitor experience, but this also kind of goes to a different level where if we're looking at this, we can start to see a kind of a pattern here. Let's just go back and just grab another one randomly here. And we're going to go off to another one that had lost some traffic here, and it looks like this one's a / colleges. / John Brown University lost ranking. So as we take a look at this page, um, it's not a lot of information about that. It's got a lot more advertisements and other related pieces. So it might not just be, it just might not be, relevant for that search query. Um, Again, we're looking at the pages that lost ranking for certain keywords. So, if we go back to that, we had clicked on the university information. So when we clicked on that, here's another university here. Let's go ahead and just click on that one. Just see, looks like the college site got hit there too. Yeah, here's another one. So San Jose State University got hit, and it's probably going to be the same experience we had before. So how do we, what does this mean? Well, if I was Forbes, if I was the CEO or I was the internet marketing director, I'd go into a lot of these small pages, especially the colleges. Some of the, /site, /author and stuff like that. Those really, you don't need to worry about. Those are just going to fall out. But if things like the schools, if that's something important, that is important to your visitor experience, all you've got to do is go in and modify these pages so that they actually have a better experience. And you can check all that by just simply going back into things like, now here's an example, and this is not Forbes, this is basically a violin company, but same thing applies. When somebody is landing on your page, what's happening? Are they doing anything? Are they just leaving? So when you look at stuff like that, for example, you've got repair and restoration in a violin company, but you look at your bounce rate, 50%. Well, how can I improve 50%? What's happening there? And then you can also look at things like your average time on site. Well, if you really want them to dig deeper into repairs and show that what we're doing is valuable, then how do we reduce that? We look at A/B split testing. We look at setting up one page, so A, as one, maybe a graphic, right? And then maybe set B page as a video instead of the graphic, and take subtle little movements so you can actually improve that page again to actually improve the areas of lost positions. So if I have actually got a company and I've lost this many positions, I've got 167,000 positions I lost. Are those valuable pieces of information that I don't want to lose rank? And here's the thing with Panda 4, all it's doing is it's cleaning out that stuff. It's not, if it's not paid attention to and it's not good visitor experience and people are bouncing, it's not worth Google's time to actually invest in having a poor quality experience for that visitor. And so they're just going to derank it. And so it's a temporary penalty. And like I said, if you start digging in with this tool, you could sit there and go, okay, well, here's another page that I want to look into. How do I then modify that page a little bit better? We can even do the same thing with resorting the positions again and looking at even the small loss, right? So if we look at the small loss, you've got so here's some ones. Let's go down a little bit deeper. Let's see. So let's just say, who's the richest in hip hop? I don't know. Let's take that link there and let's just see what we've got. So here it takes you to / pictures and then hit hip hop's wealthiest artists. So on this page we have some images and then the rest is just footer information. So this to me would be a low quality content page. I mean, it might be that it's the coolest thing in the world, but then if you go back into your analytics, you can then see what kind of bounce rates you have, where they came from, where did they go next, did they continue the experience on the website, or did they go back to the search engine and search again? And so you can learn a lot from your visitors just by looking at those analytics and utilizing tools like SEMrush, and just kind of do your own research. You can even take other companies. So, for example, I used Forbes for example, but let's even take a look at maybe eBay. Okay, now this might take a few minutes because it's going to actually have to render the results, but for the most part, they're pretty quick on the results. And so here we go. We'll go back to Lost, and then we'll scroll back down. The same concept. So organic position change, what we're looking for is keywords that we have lost, and then we can actually match those up with a page that has been declined in ranking. So here we go. So as we look here, let's do another position change or another sort. I want to look at the highest lost first, and I want to identify areas that I might want to re-improve. So I can look for some of my my highest selling items, and maybe they lost ranking positions. So if that's where I make most of my money, I'm going to spend most of my time modifying and improving that page for better customer and visitor experience. Um, got position chain. I guess I didn't click it completely. My apologies. All right, so and again, you can also use if you know the exact word that you know that you've lost, you can use the filter by keyword, and it quickly finds that. Especially if you've got like here we've got 2 million lost positions. So that's something the SEO or SEO department could SEO department can actually improve upon. And when you look at this kind of stuff, maybe Overstock outlet, and let's just see what that page takes us to. All right, so it's the Overstock outlet online. So in this case, eBay is not going to really care that this ranking has lost. But if I was Overstock, I would probably be going, well, if I lost ranking, how can I improve this page? At the same time, is if you look at this this whole listing, it just keeps going and going and going, and it's very dynamic too. So basically, I would have a lot more guts on this to be able to actually get a better opportunity to get exposure for that one particular seller or multiple sellers. So I think eBay is kind of shooting herself on the foot with the layout here. I think there's a lot to be improved here that they can help with their resellers of products, so other stores in there. And again, that was just a random click, so you can keep scrolling down and you can find even other avenues of loss.